The world that I've grown up in has never been the same one that my parents or my grandparents knew. My generation has only ever known summers that feel hotter than the last, floods that come without warnings, and forests disappearing before our eyes. Climate change is not just a distant problem or a possibility anymore. It is the reality that we face every single day. A very good afternoon to all the esteemed dignitaries, the audience, my fellow participants, and the organizers. I am Keerthi Kuppa. I am a 15-year-old grade 11 student from Pallavi International School, Gandipet in Hyderabad, Telangana. From a young age, I've always been really concerned about the environment, and I've always wanted to do my part to help save it. But for the longest time, I wondered, what could somebody like me possibly do to make a difference? Climate change has always seemed like a problem for the adults and the professionals, like only the scientists and the climate experts had a say in the future of the environment. But that is when I realized climate change does not just affect the men and women at round table conferences making decisions on behalf of the rest of us. And that is when I asked myself this question. When we all are victims of climate change, why aren't we all advocates for climate action? When we all are a part of the problem, why aren't we all a part of the solution? After all, we, as the youth, are connected to the climate concerns in ways that other generations can never be. We have never experienced a world without the rising temperatures and the lowering water levels, the floods and the heat waves. The absence of a safe and healthy planet is not just a concept to us, it is a reality. And it is this reality that drives us to want to bring that back. I once read the words of H.M. Steiner, the head of the United Nations Development Program, who said that compared to their grandparents, a child born in 2021 will experience 7 times as many heat waves, nearly 3 times as many droughts, and 2 times as many wildfires. This is not just a statistic. This is our future. But the youth are not ready to accept that. The public wants action, but the youth are bringing it. Just recently, the people of Hyderabad witnessed the land dispute of the Kancha Gachibowli forest. The government tried to clear nearly 400 acres of land under the Hyderabad Central University campus. But what happened next was unforgettable. Hundreds of students stood up in protest. They were not just stopping bulldozers, they were protecting their future. And their unity and determination took this movement far, far beyond the campus gates. Their voice reached the Supreme Court, who decided to step in and order the government to stop the deforestation. This is just one of many examples of youth making a difference for this planet. And they aren't even ready to stop there. Young people are now taking their voices to global discussions. In 2021, at the COP27 in Egypt, the Children and Youth Pavilion was set up for the first time, giving young voices a permanent space in global climate discussions. This showed the world that young voices are not just important, they are essential. In fact, I myself had the privilege of being one of these young voices. Last October, at the age of 15, I found myself halfway across the world in Colombia as a youth delegate for India at the United Nations COP16 for Biodiversity. What started off as a school project where I connected with hundreds of students online slowly turned into something much bigger than I could have ever imagined. Through weeks of discussions, late-night phone calls across time zones, and hours of drafting, we built something extraordinary together, the Global Child Biodiversity Declaration. This was not just a document. This was a shared collection of our hopes, fears, ideas, and solutions for this planet. And soon, I found myself in Colombia alongside 20 other students, taking these words into the halls of the United Nations. We shared our stories and ideas with dignitaries and delegates from across the world. And we even held an official United Nations press meet. Together, we had a role in global climate policies. Together, we made a difference. And just recently, our work has been recognized by the Secretary General of the United Nations himself, who mentioned us in our declaration in a note that was published by him. My journey has taught me one thing clearly. From students in Hyderabad standing together to save a forest, to children carrying their voices all the way to the United Nations, youth are no longer just witnesses to climate change. Youth all across the world are setting a powerful example that age does not define impact. Our passion does. It is our passion that drives us to act, to connect, and to strive for a better and more sustainable world. It acts as a constant reminder that one's age does not define their impact, one's passion does. The fight for the climate is no longer just in the hands of policymakers or scientists. It is in the voices of students, the strength of children, and the hands of the youth all across the world. And that is the real story. The youth are not just waiting to inherit the future, we are shaping it now. Thank you.